Thanks for the support as a channel member, Simon Gray. Well, after what happened last year, that I still don't wish to talk about, for today's episode, we have the opportunity to get our hands on the Bundesliga trophy for the second time and win it for the first time because of what happened last year. Hello and welcome to Club 5, part 19 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a Bundesliga game at home against Bochum. No idea. We're also away against Manchester United in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. Since you were last with me, in addition to playing that first leg of the semi-final, which we won 2-0 thanks to goals from Andre and Thorgerson, we've also got ourselves into the German Cup final, a 3-0 win over Schalke. We faced Dortmund in that final, which could be the last game of the season if the Man United game doesn't go to plan today. And also a couple of good wins in the Bundesliga as well against Freiburg and Union Berlin, as I accidentally called it. I think it might have even been in a bit edited out. Union Berlin, not Union Berlin, apparently. Bundesliga. That's what it looks like. 3 games remaining. We're 7 points clear of Wolfsburg. If we win this game today against Bochum, then there'll be 2. In fact, not necessarily. Maths can't do. Wolfsburg aren't playing now. Wolfsburg play tomorrow away against Hoffenheim. I think we win the league. I'm not going to try and mathematical it. You can see we've got the 3 best players in the league as well, and they're all defensive players. It does say a lot about our team. We don't score as many goals as you would expect, but we are good at the back. We've got a very good set of defenders on us, which I guess you can't really complain about that. So this is the team that is going to try and get their hands on the Bundesliga trophy. We've got Ferron in goal, a back row of Thum, Haman, Panfalvi and Dombrowski. Tigges at the base of the midfield because Vermonti is... Why did Paskev not pick Vermonti? Where is he? Why can't I even see him? Vermonti is, I guess, being rested by Pastkev. And look, getting ready for me moving to Barcelona in the summer. Barcelona already want him. That would be the first move I make if they let me go there. Their manager is unsettled. Not unsettled. He's insecure in his position. So I'm still hoping win everything. Go to Barcelona. Take Vermonti with me. Everybody's happy. He becomes the mascot of the save, assistant manager eventually. And just Kev's best buddy. We live together and everything. But he's not playing today. Tiggy's at the base of the midfield. Marquez and Lust ahead of him. And then Miguel's, Gashi and Thorgerson as our front 3. Let's get into the game. We can't mess it up, surely. We're like 60 games unbeaten in the Bundesliga. It's been nearly 2 years unbeaten. We've got to just go and win the league at this point, surely. Come on, lads, the title will be ours if we manage to win. The trophy is here. We got to touch it last year, but officially, Bayern haven't won the Bundesliga for 4 years at this point. After so many years of dominance, 4 years is a long time. We've seen Dortmund win it 3 times during that 4-year spell. Wolfsburg won it once as well. I don't know why that's out like that. In fact, I do know why it's like that. That's from when I was Twitch streaming with Home. And we wanted to see goal difference because goal difference was so important. If you've not been watching the Twitch streams with Home, my word, you're missing out. We're streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays and Sundays at 9 p.m. UK time, twitch.tv/LOLLUJO. You should be watching the Twitch streams with Home. They're awesome. Replays are available both on the Twitch channel and on LOLLUJO too. And there'll also be another season review coming up very soon because we've just finished another season. So it might even be that that's already come out today, depending on what order I record things in. We shall have to see. But focusing back in on this game for a second, where we should be winning the league, Thorgerson is in. If he can tuck this away, and he can, and that puts us 1-0 up, although the ref is looking at the little telly, he's looking at the linesman. I think that's been disallowed. Offsides, I'm certain, are broken, because he is just not offside there. Not even close to being offside. But it's disallowed because offsides are so dumb in FM20, and I don't understand why. It wasn't even like this when the game first came out. This seems to be something they've patched in. Let's break offsides. Thumb in a crossing position. Instead, tucks it back to Marquez, back to Thumb again. This time does cross, finds Thorgerson, and this time, surely he's not offside. It's a 16th goal of the season for Thorgerson, and as it stands, that puts us 10 points clear at the top of the league, I think. I don't think it had ticked over yet. Thumb, we saw all this. Come on, we saw all this. Just show the net bulge. There you go. There's a lovely bulge for you. And yes, as it stands, 10 points clear. Although Wolfsburg have a game in hand, 10 points will be enough. The trophy is here. We can all see it. We're ready to collect it. We're very excited. Guard against complacency. Let's win the thing. Let's have an animation that we've earned this time around. We know, we can look at the maths of that and know that if we get the animation this season, we get to keep the trophy, which will be a pleasant change from what we learned last year. Miguel's chucks it back across towards Banfalvi, and Laszlo Banfalvi, a 7th goal of the season for him. He's another one who'll be eyeing a move to Barcelona with Kev if that's where we end up going, because these are my boys that I'm building my teams around, Banfalvi and Vermonti, and they step up when it's, Banfalvi he's a hero. He is an absolute hero, and he deserves to win some of the things that he hasn't yet won. He's a World Cup winner. He's won the Euros. He's won the Nations League. He's won the Europa League. He's won the German Cup. What he hasn't won is any domestic leagues or the Champions League, and we owe him both of those this season. We're going to bring O'Hara and Vermonti on for the last 20 minutes or so. We're going to drop a little bit of praise. Who else deserves to be on the pitch when the whistle goes? Probably both Van der Hoek and Andre could make a strong argument for that, but Van der Hoek is still in my bad books, so we're going to bring on Andre because he deserves to be on the pitch when the final whistle goes. He's played so much football for us this year, made the difficult decision to leave Dortmund after, he left them after they'd won Bundesliga twice in 3 years, came to us, had the disappointment of last year along with the rest of us, but deserves the celebrations this time round. Thorgerson dancing through the defence. O'Hara, it falls to Andre. What a man. What a goal. It wasn't that important. It wasn't that impressive a goal. It was an important goal because 3-0 up with 5 minutes to go, and we're doing it at a canter. There's no pressure on now. We just give us the trophy. We need to start focusing on the Manchester United game and getting to a second consecutive Champions League final, because this job is done, and we have gone unbeaten for a very, very, very long time to do it. And there we have an animation that we know we actually get to keep. We have won the Bundesliga at the second time of asking. The only question now is whether we can remain unbeaten for the last 2 games and do an invincible season, which is something I think I've only ever done once before in Football Manager. But I'll be honest, I don't really care. I will trade Invincibles for winning the Champions League at this point, because it is far, far more important. And there is the confirmation that we did win the Bundesliga. And it's a double as well, because we won the Super Cup earlier on in the season. The board are delighted. In multiple areas. How many Bundesliga is that now for Bayern? It doesn't have a number on there. There you go. 38 times won now, which is a ridiculous number of times. There is the pretty little shield. There's your evidence that it's been a 4-year gap. But before that, obviously many, many years of Bayern dominance. And I would expect a return to that now. Now I've put us back where we should have been all along with a young team. You just have to sort them. But why is he getting a medal? He played 1 substitute appearance and is getting a medal. But that is a young team. The oldest player in the squad is Van der Hoek at 29. Vermonti 28, and then it's 26, 27. That's a young squad. There's at least another 4 or 5 Bundesliga wins in this team if they stay together, if not more if they get the right manager in after me. But that is me now confirming I am actively looking for a job for the for next season. We've completed what we came here in Germany to do. Obviously, we'd like to win the Champions League as well before we go, but we are very much eye to what the next job might be. Arsenal would be an interesting one, but I'm not ready to go back to the Premier League yet. I want to go back with a couple of other leagues under my belt before we go back and finish our job in the Premier League. It would be quite funny to go back and do it with Arsenal after all those years at Tottenham. Looking around what else is available, there's no very insecure jobs I'd be interested in, but the insecure ones, there is some interesting stuff. Barcelona, their manager is insecure. Have we got any other big jobs that are insecure? Not really. Looks like it's Barcelona or nothing. They're second in La Liga. They ain't winning it. Real Madrid are already champions. What have Barcelona still got to play for? What am I trying to look at? Their schedule. Are they still in the Champions League? No. Then they're going to have a trophyless season. So they lost to Man United. This Man United second leg is going to be a tough one. But that's where I want to go next. Barcelona, please. But first, let's beat Manchester United. So a couple of changes for the Manchester United game then. We're going with Kryju and Tigges in the back four, and with Amonti coming back in at the base of the midfield. Andre comes in for Marquez as well. It's a bit of a coin flip between whether it's Gashi and O'Hara, and Gashi wins the coin flip on the basis of he's probably our top scorer and one of our best players as well. Not quite up there with Amonti, but I like O'Hara, but I think O'Hara's the one most likely to have a crazy moment and do something awesome, whereas Gashi is Gashi's just awesome, isn't he? I am going here attacking, which might end up being the stupidest thing I've ever done, but the pre-match tactical briefing didn't tell me not to. It's my natural inclination to go and attack. Let's not do anything stupid. Let's not do anything stupid, he says, going to Old Trafford attacking when he's got a 2-0 lead he could defend. But my theory is, here's my logic. We've spent 2 years here and all we've ever done is attack. And I don't know if we know how to defend. I don't know if we've got it in us. We have a very strong back four. It's a World Cup winning back four with 2 more World Cup winners who could drop into that back four if needs be. We're very good defensively. Our best player, Vermonti, protects the defenders as well. So I think we can afford to continue to attack and try and grab an away goal, which Thorgerson very nearly did there. But we can afford to attack and try and play our natural game, because we're so good at the back. If it ends up not being the case, then I'm an idiot. Miguel's on the left-hand side. He's done very well to keep hold of the ball there. Cross comes over to Thorgerson, and there is an away goal. And that is hugely important. Manchester United 0, Bayern 1, and it's 3-0 to us on aggregate. And we have that all-important away goal. There is a big mountain for Manchester United to climb from this point. That was exceptional work from Miguel's on the left-hand side, and Thorgerson. There's been a little bit of criticism of him, but I tell you what, Thorgerson shows up in the big games. Here's Thorgerson with the free kick, floats it in, and nobody's there to direct it goalwards, and United trying to get a counter-attack of their own going here, and we need to be a little bit careful that we haven't committed too many men forward. Vermonti does well to slow the counter down, and then eventually we get it sort of clear, but it's Burke, the former Bayern player. There's quite a few former players, not just of Bayern, but of Tottenham and of England as well in this Manchester United team. They've got David Kidd at left back. They've got Keith Crown in on, I think, the right-hand side of midfield. They've got Burke, and there's one of them. I said his name, and he scored. Keith Crown, just before half-time. We know how good that boy is. And it's surprising to see it's only a 14th goal of the season for him. But that definitely keeps things interesting going into half-time. 1-1 on the night. Still 3-1 to us on aggregate. The away goal is still absolutely crucial. We're going to do the don't let your performance levels drop deal. And now the question is, I guess, how long I can hold my nerve for and keep the attacking instruction on. Or how long should I be holding my nerve? Should I actually be dropping back and doing something a little bit more defensively? Or do I stick to my guns? We came here to play our natural game. Look at the scoreline. You can't argue with the fact that it's working so far. If we drop back and let United have more of the ball and more of the play, are we causing ourselves problems by doing it? Andre's not having a very good game. We've got Marquez who can come on for him. That's a pretty easy change to make. Gashi for O'Hara as well. Like I said, it was a coin flip between which one of them started. Gashi hasn't really turned up, so O'Hara can come on for the final 20 minutes. Miguel has picked up an injury, so that makes it easy to decide what my final change is. As much as I worry about having Van der Hoek on the pitch in a big game, Van der Hoek is now on the pitch in a big game. If he gets sent off again, I might just sack him. But he's now on the left-hand side of midfield. and there's 5 minutes left, and surely we can't mess things up from here. It feels like it's been worryingly straightforward. Why do I let words come out of my mouth? There's 5 minutes to go. They've got a free kick, and I'm literally sat here going, this has been quite straightforward. We're basically in the final. It's now 2-1 to Manchester United. We are still ahead on aggregate. We do still have the away goal. But I hear Manchester United, Champions League versus Bayern Munich. The game doesn't necessarily end at 90 minutes. It's just a rumour I've heard from somewhere that there might be late goals in this. O'Hara with the corner. Oh my word, Thorgerson with an enormous miss, and if this doesn't end up going our way, he's the criminal of the piece. But luckily, it has, and you know what? It was fairly straightforward in the end. The away goal was crucial. The performance in the first leg very, very important as well. But there is your confirmation that Bayern Munich are through to the Champions League final. I don't actually know who we're playing. I didn't pay much. Oh, we play Inter. So Bayern Munich versus Inter. Inter, who are top of Serie A. Have they already won it? Let's have a look. Inter have already won it on an absolute landslide. It's been kind of a dominant spell for Inter for the last 10 years or so. Juventus occasionally getting into the mix, but it's really Inter's league now, it seems, and that is a league that's ranked higher than ours. So similar sort of situations with Barcelona last year. They're not to be taken lightly. We'll have to see how we get on. Let's praise Kryju. I don't remember him having a particularly good game, but apparently he did. He got an 8.1, so we can't really argue that. 100% tackles won, 3 key tackles. Actually, you know what? When you're trying to get to a Champions League final, that is quite a good game. I'll give him that. So we're not going to show any more league games now. There's no reason to, because we've won that. I'll obviously let you know if we end up managing to do the Invincible season. So the next episode, which is Monday's episode, it's going to be a premiere because for the second season in a row, it's a German Cup final followed by a Champions League final. And hopefully this time around, just like in the Bundesliga, we can go one step further in the Champions League as well and complete what would affect. I mean, it would be a perfect season for Bayern if we can finish invincible, win the league, win the cup, win the Super Cup like we already have, and then win the Champions League too. There's no topping that ever. That's why you resign at the end of that season. But we do still have that one more job to do. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.